Hey everybody, it's Rod with the PhotoFair coming back at you with another video. Today, I want to talk about a camera that I bought at the last PhotoFair, the one we had at Seawood Photo last month. I bought an unusual camera, you might think, if you know me from all these videos, but I bought a Sony A7. This is the original Sony A7. Now, I'm a Canon guy. Why the heck would I buy one of these? Hey, let me jump in right here and just remind you guys, if you could hit that subscribe button right down there, it would really help us out. And we'd love to keep you updated as new content comes along. And also, the PhotoFair show, the Rose City Photo Fair, is September 20th. It's our 10th Photo Fair in Portland, and it is our biggest show of the year. We're going to have some 80, 90 tables stuffed into Cleaver Armory, thousands and thousands and thousands of items, everything from actual artwork to vintage cameras to modern cameras. Lots of professional buyers there ready to pay cash for your gear on the spot. And look forward to seeing you there. Now, back to the video. So yes, I bought a Sony A7 right there. The original A7 from 2013. Now, I bought this camera for a very specific reason. I'm going to use it for astrophotography. Yeah, I have a lot of rigs that get kind of heavy, and I wanted to do some full frame, and I didn't want a big, heavy camera. Now, the A7 is incredibly small. It's hard to believe that it's the ancestor to today's A7 V camera, because the A7 V is larger than this Canon R5, and this guy is microscopic in comparison. It's not even close. Not only is it 150 grams lighter, but dimensionally, it's significantly smaller. I'm going to use this Sony camera on a couple of my rigs where they tend to get out of balance, or where I want to use them on a smaller mount system for when I travel on camping trips and whatnot. So the Sony A7 is perfect, say, for example, on my Red Cat 51. Now, it's also going to work really good on my Astrograph, where the camera's mounted way up, kind of almost on a lever, and it tends to make the balance a little bit of a challenge. So that's really why I bought it. But I discovered another use for it, a use that's right up my alley. Old rangefinder lenses. Now, you all have been watching these videos a while. You know that I love to shoot old school glass. When you put this little Leica Summicron dual range on that big old honking Canon R5, it looks and feels awkward. But on this camera, it's like the appropriate size for relative to the camera body. In fact, this Sony A7 is really not much larger than a Leica M6. In fact, if it didn't have the little pentaprism hump on the top here, and yes, I know there's not a pentaprism in there, it's an EVF, but it looks like an old SLR pentaprism. If that weren't there, it would be maybe a little smaller than a Leica M6. And so the camera's perfect for shooting with old rangefinder lenses, either screw mount or Leica M. And I got the same, of course, little close focusing adapter, which is really nice when using old school rangefinder lenses. So it's kind of serving double duty now for me. The only bummer about the original A7 is that it doesn't have IBIS. Now, for astrophotography, I don't need IBIS, kind of don't even want it. But for old rangefinder glass like this, it's kind of, you get spoiled. I can drag the shutter when I have IBIS down quite a bit slower and still get sharp images. Not so much without IBIS. So that would honestly, that would be a perfect camera for me if it had IBIS. The problem with the A7 II is dimensionally, it got bigger on all three dimensions, and kind of a lot. And then the camera got bigger again with the current series, the A7 IV and the A7 V. And that just defeats the whole purpose for me. I'm attracted to the tiny size of the Sony A7, and I'll probably keep this camera for a long time. It makes great images. Is it as good as a modern camera? Of course not. It's got a little bit more digital noise. It's, you know, the processing on it's kind of slow. I can't believe we had to wait that long for pictures to process. Yeah, so when I take a picture, particularly if I do an Astro image with a long, say 30 seconds or a bulb timer long exposure, it does take a little while for that thing to process. But other than that, it's a fabulous camera and I love it. You can get them now for $400, you know, $550 for a super clean one. This one's pretty clean, but I've also seen them well used down in the, you know, $275, $300 range. And it's a hell of a camera for that. So if you're kind of into Astro Imaging and you want a full frame lightweight camera, that can still be a viable choice. Unfortunately, it's older, so it doesn't sync up with all the modern control equipment. So that's a bummer. I'm just using a manual intervalometer on it. But for shooting old school rangefinder glass, wow, it's a nice compact package. In fact, I might make it my travel camera. I might get myself an old Sony autofocus, just a mid-range zoom, you know, and then put a bunch of old school glass when I travel. My M6 Mark II is still quite a bit smaller than this camera, but it's APS-C, and this is full frame. So, you know, love full frame. Gotta love full frame. So really, you know, that's kind of all I really have today. Just wanted to kind of talk about this A7 and how I think it's still a very, very viable camera, even in today's photography, especially if you want to shoot old school glass and you're looking for something really small. You want a full frame camera that's still lightweight and compact enough for travel. The Sony A7 is a great choice. Now, for those of you wondering if I'm going to switch to Sony, no, I'm not. I'm sticking with my R5. Maybe one day I'll get the R5 Mark II. Not going to do it right now, but I am heavily invested, tens and tens and tens of thousands of dollars in Canon. So no bueno for me to switch. But the little Sony is going to find a place in my travel camera bag and with my Astro gear. And it's a great camera for those two things for me. And it could be a great camera for you as well. Keep in mind that Portland Rose City PhotoFair coming up September 20th at the Cleaver Armory. You can check out our website, www.photofair.com, for all kinds of information. It's going to be a great show. It's the biggest show we do every year, nearly 10,000 square feet in the Cleaver Armory, and we tend to fill that space pretty good. So check out the website or check back right here on YouTube for our next video.